Hello and welcome. I'm your host Elizibar. This is Justice League Dark number 27. We've been waiting. We've been spending 2 years of our time plus change to get to this point. To get to the point where we're finally having a throwdown against the monster teased in issue 1. Like at the very beginning of this, we had the Upside Down Man being upside down. Oh man, that wind is really going outside. It's caught my curtain. I had to close my curtain because there was so much light coming in here. You couldn't see the comic book. It was nuts. Absolutely nutso. But time marches on, right? And which is actually something that the Upside Down Man can't handle is time marching on. In fact, that is effectively one of the weapons they're using to fight him. Is they're trying to constrain him with rules. So while this book, oh well, okay, let's stop because I'm showing you this stuff. So we start off. John Constantine's like going to die. Wonder Woman is getting Cersei to give her Hecate's power. That way, we get this cool panel where Wonder Woman is like powering up. Man, she's going like full Super Saiyan. It's awesome. No complaint there. But yeah, so we start off. John Constantine. He's done stuff. He's sacrificing himself. You know, there's always a price to pay. Blah 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 blah. Cersei's given up her power. Kind of uncharacteristic for her, but she's had a world all to herself where she got to rule. So she's like mellowed out over wanting to kill everybody. And then the remaining heroes spring into action. Wonder Woman's looking great. Detective Chimp, I mean, he's just a monkey with a sword. He is looking pretty cool too. The younger Dr. Fate, so that's Khalid, rocking the helmet of Naboo. Swamp Thing, not just taking up his own panel, mind you, but he is impinging upon, boom, two other panels with a little bit into a third. Yeah, look at that, look at that. Because Swamp Thing's a big dude. Got Man Bat in the background. Like, I dig this. The stupid little separator here does nothing but add dramatic tension to the pose. Like, they're breaking out of the panels, man. It's super dynamic. Especially Man Bat up there. He looks dope. Which is funny because he's like the most useless of them, except he's the one carrying this thing, which shows up later. It's a weapon, sorta. So on the one hand, you've got this incredible like physical action that comes up in the next couple of pages. Maybe I can show you just a little bit of that. I've already showed a lot of this. How about like some of that right there? Like there's a lot of like actual good fighting going on in here, and it's great because of that. But they're also fighting, on a more I don't know, magical, spiritual, some other level like that, where they're trying to shackle the Upside Down Man with rules. They're going to use belief against him. They believe, and they're going to use that belief because that's what magic is. It's the belief that you can make something happen. So they're going to use that belief to shackle him with little rules that say, "Hey, magic has a cost. It's not unlimited," which will, immediately like nerf him from this amazing cosmic entity to just some upside down guy. Which that sounds like a YouTube channel. Just what would you talk about on the some upside down guy channel? You'd probably talk about like food served like deconstructed or something. That sounds like what that channel would be all about. But there's an idea there. No, wait, stay on target. Stay on target. There's lots of great stuff in here. The writing is mostly fine. Zatanna does a lot of backward talking later in the book, and it's just a little bit annoying to try to follow all of it. That's the one thing about like her magic that kind of irks me just a little bit. Oh man, you can see what the wind is doing here, man, in my curtain. It's crazy. So that can be a little hard to read, especially with larger words. Shorter words are pretty easy to reverse, but when somebody's like busting out like a 10-letter word or something, you got to flip that. It's like, ugh. At least for me. Maybe not for you. And they go through this whole process. Each member is contributing something. Kent shows back up to take over because he doesn't want Khalid to bear the consequences of what has to be done. So he rolls in to do it for the kid. Great stuff. They have a little conversation with Naboo. It's a short one, but it's pretty good. Like this whole issue was very satisfying. The only unsatisfying thing about it, hold on, let me Let me see if I can fix this a little bit better. There we go. The one shortcoming is that it keeps going. This isn't the end of the story. This isn't the end of the fight. There's more to it. And maybe that's a spoiler, but I don't feel like that's too much of a spoiler because by the time you got to the end of this, you will have gone on a cool journey, which I have left sort of sketched out, but very undefined aside from the fact that it's satisfying. We're on issue 27. We've been teasing this fight since issue 1. It would have been nice if the fight would resolve at some point here because we're like, what, 4 issues into this story arc, and it's almost all just been this one fight. We're getting Dragon Ball Z in this thing, like, with the way the story's, like, structured here, you know? And I've said the word like a whole lot, which probably means I should just shut up. You all have a great one. This was pretty good. I had a lot of fun reading it. I wish the story would wrap up this fight before it gets old. Because I have a feeling like if the next issue... Oh, I just did the like again. I have a feeling that if the next issue doesn't resolve this conflict, even if there's more to the series after it, that I'm going to kind of start souring on it. And I don't want to do that. I don't want it to overstay its welcome. I want it to come in, be awesome, and then just be like, we're cool. Kind of like, oh, geez, there I went with the like again. But it is kind of like, the classic Future Imperfect story for Hulk. Like, that's a relatively short story. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It comes in, it's poignant, it's pointed, it's great, and then it's over. And the Maestro miniseries is like 5 issues, and they've got a second Maestro miniseries coming up. So we've got a 10-issue prequel to, like, what was Future Imperfect? It's like 2 issues, right? To a 2-issue story arc. That's ludicrous. Things don't always need to be expanded upon. There's that old saying, brevity is the soul of wit. And I kind of feel that's true for most writing, even if it's not something necessarily witty. If you can say in 10 words what you originally meant to say in 20 words, probably that 10-word description is going to be the right one. Now, there are exceptions to that. But I'm just... Yeah, I'm repeating myself. I'm just afraid that this series is really going to overstay its welcome if it keeps going with the pace it has been going in this story arc. And I don't think it will. I think this is being written for like a 5-issue trade. Or maybe a 4-issue trade. I forget how many issues we had in the story arc. And as soon as we get done with this, it's going to be boom, done. It'll be a satisfying like 4-issue thing. And they can all move on with their lives. That's what I expect is going on here. But we'll find out. We'll find out. So check it out. Just League Dark has been a pretty crazy comic book for most of its run. It's been a lot of fun. It's definitely worth reading. This issue is no exception. Great cover. Bye-bye.